Everybody, give me 1 second here. Let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we get started, I'd like to ask that you all please stand and direct your attention to your screens. And please welcome Emily V, who will be performing our national anthem. Thank you, Emily. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm sure all the breweries are very appreciative for everyone to jump on board the virtual edition of the Craft Beer Long Beach Festival. I know cost-wise, this was a commitment on your side, so I really appreciate each and every one of you for it. Putting this together has been a lot more work than the normal festival, and you know it's great to see that all of you have jumped on board and have been willing to support this event. Boxing up the beers last week on Saturday and transporting the beers to and from Trademark Brewing to the Fourth Horseman on Monday really had me thinking if doing something like this was worth the effort. But after seeing all of you guys come down to pick up your boxes and seeing how happy you guys were and seeing how excited you guys were for the event, really proved to me that it was really worth all the effort. So appreciate all of you for jumping on board, and special thanks to my friends and family for helping me get everything set up and put together so we can make this happen. And some of them are here today and can help me drink the beers. So let's get started. Let's see what's in the box. Do you guys have? You have a glass, a 16-ounce glass. I don't have one with me. It's around here. And then you have the enamel pin. You have a Craft Beer Long Beach sticker. There you go. Glass, pin, sticker. Feel free to stick it on your cars, water bottles, anything you want. If you ever need any extra ones, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to make them for you. My wife makes them on her little Cricut machine, so we can make them anytime any of them is ever needed. There is 2 different snacks. Can you give me one? There's 2 different snacks in the bag from Drinking Buddy Artisan Snacks, and a plastic bag full of like additional goodies. So Frank Rogers from Frank Rogers will come on in a second. He'll kind of explain the snacks to you. Let's see, and then there's and then all the beers. I emailed you guys a list of the beers that we'll be going through for the weekend. But today, if you didn't get the email, I guess you got the email because you're logged on. But today we'll be going through Trademark, Viking Blonde, Trademark Brewing, Hula Moon, Steady, Oktoberfest. I'm not going to try to say that name right now. Trusted Gut, Hey Neighbor, Beachwoods, Khakis or Car Keys, then Hog Canyon's Uncle Shoes, and then Scholb's Tall, Dank, and Handsome. Before we get any further, let me bring on Frank. Let me find Frank 1 second. All right, Frank, if you're there, you can unmute yourself and turn your video camera. So as Frank gets on, we will get this going.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Frank, you got your video camera on?
Yeah. You see me? Let me share.
No, actually, let me take this off real quick. There you go. There's
you go.
Frank.
What's up, everybody?
So Frank is here. He's going to talk to you real quick, just to give a brief explanation on the snacks he provided, and appreciate you for providing those snacks for people to have today and tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dennis, for putting everything together. I know it wasn't easy this year, and thank you to all of the craft breweries for getting through the last crazy 6-7 months. I know it's been absolutely insane for everybody. So I'm Frank. I founded a company called Drinking Buddy Artisan Snacks. And hoping all of you guys are going to have a great festival. I put 2 snacks in your boxes. So the first one is the Ryu Senbei. So this is a chili oil rice cake. It goes really well with like an IPA, double IPA. I also like it with a chocolate stout. It's one of my personal favorites, but it's a good one for higher ABV beers. And then the other one, the WSM, that just stands for wasabi, soy sauce, and mayonnaise. So this is good with a lighter beer like a Hefeweizen or just something a little bit lighter. Also a rice lager, if you got like a Japanese style rice lager, those are really good with this as well. So just try these out, enjoy them with the beer, and have a lot of fun today. If you like what you had on here, just check out this back here. There's a coupon code for you to enjoy. Thanks, guys, and cheers.
Thanks, Frank. Oh, cool photo, Frank. All right. Cool. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate again for providing those snacks to us. Everybody, please, if you like the snacks, log on to that website and support Frank, because that is so awesome. All right, so got the beers. Quick little, looks like some of you are kind of using it already. There's a little chat down there if you want to add some stuff on there. Just I guess be respectful of each other, and if there's anyone that is not being, I will gladly kick you off. So on the bottom, you'll see besides the chat, there's a Q&A. This is where you can ask questions as people come on. If you have any questions, I'll be monitoring that in the background. As breweries come on, there'll be little trivia questions that I will post up of each brewery if they provided anything. I'm not keeping score or anything, but feel free to play along. Other than that, I would like to introduce, let's go find them real quick. Ryan and Martin from the Fourth Horseman will be joining us right now. Give me 1 second. Aha, I see you. Ryan and Martin, turn on your mics and your video.
Are we unmuted?
I can hear you. Give me 1 second. Let me get you guys on here. Yeah, there they are. Hey, you're on mute. Unmute.
Good afternoon.
So Ryan and Martin will be your guides today. They'll kind of take you through the beers and the breweries. I'll pop on here and there, and I'll be in the background, kind of controlling stuff. But Ryan and Martin, thanks for joining us. If you guys would like to give a little introduction of yourselves and who you are and what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. My name is Martin Schwab. My lovely partner in crime, Ryan Hughes. We are two of the four horsemen. Jeremy Schott, who's amazing gallery, the Dark Art Emporium. We are hosting this amazing festival out of. He will probably at some point to say hi. We're big fans of Dennis and what he's done with Craft Beer LB. And when he asked us to be a part of this little soiree, we definitely want to be involved and during these very challenging times, a lot of us, and in the brewing and restaurant bar segment, it's been rough on everybody. So at times somebody could do brings attention to local breweries, and we support her and taste some amazing beers. And just do we can't do it just yet. So very happy to be involved on the virtual aspect of this macabre get together in this beautiful month of October.
I'm good. I'm Ryan. He's my other half, as he just said. We're just happy to be a part of this and be able to get our friends and help, we help everybody somehow be able to do something that we want to do, but in a different way. 20, right?
All right. Hey, before we move further, Martin, can you check your mic and see which one is active?
Hello?
Which one's what?
As you can see, I'm at the Rancho.
This might be better. This might be.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to give your speech over again? I'm kidding. You don't have to. So I really appreciate you guys agreeing to come on and help, because this would be hard all by myself. And Ryan and Martin have been a great help just through this whole process, and I appreciate you guys so much for it. All right, so let's I'm going to disappear to the background a little bit, and next up we're going to bring on Trademark. Let me find Sterling. There you are. Sterling, you're on twice. I'm going to promote both of them and figure out which one. Sterling, you should be able to turn on your mic and unmute yourself.
All right, here we go. Nope.
Yeah, I can hear you. Well,
You
there
got
you
me?
go.
There
Yeah,
we
you're
go.
like
Cool.
sideways though.
Am I really?
You are.
I tried to get all clever here, and this is what I get rewarded with. Nope, those are barrels.
Oh.
All right, well,
I mean,
so much for that. Yeah, let's use.
just turn that screen sideways.
Well, I thought I was going to be real smart and use my phone so I could be mobile, but I guess not. All right, cool. How does that work? Back in business?
Yes.
There I am.
Beautiful.
Hey everyone, I'm Sterling Steffen. I am one of the founders and the brewer here at Trademark Brewing. We're on Anaheim Street at the top of downtown, and we're really excited to be here. I want to thank Dennis, of course, and Ryan and Martin for kind of hosting this whole shindig. It's been a interesting year. I think that goes without saying, and I kind of miss being at the Rancho. It's one of my favorite festivals. I think it's a great place to hang out and have a nice relaxing day, listen to some music, drink some cool beer, see some nice people. So to pivot a little bit this year and do it via Zoom is the way to go. So I'm glad to be here. And we've got some beer to drink. So should we start drinking beer? Is that the program, guys?
Yes,
All right,
of
cool.
course.
So we're going to start with Viking Blonde. This is a nice little introductory beer. It's a good way to start your day, kind of your calibration beer, as it would. It's proof that not all craft beer has to be heavy and enormous. Sometimes it can just be refreshing and delicious. So this is kind of a classic. This is our take on a classic blonde. It's got some honey malt in it. It's made with an English yeast. And the big pivot that we make, every beer that we make, we want to make a little bit different, a little bit according to what we think would be most interesting and kind of give it its own twist. So we actually dry hop this with a little bit of Cascade. And when people hear dry hop or they hear hops in general, there's often an opportunity to get a little freaked out. It's like, oh boy, this is going to be hoppy and bitter and too much. Instead, what you're mostly going to find on this is a little bit of an extra citrus punch that kind of turns it up to 11. So give it a shot. And I think I'll look in the comments for questions. Oh, we've got trivia questions. All right, so well, I know the answer to all of these.
So you probably shouldn't answer yet. Let people get their votes in.
All right, cool. And then do we still have the chat going?
Yeah, the chat's still going on.
There we go, good. I would like to take this opportunity also to talk about kind of the importance of local and what we've got going on right now that's a little bit different. Let me make this so I can see. You know, with the year it's been and being closed and being open and being closed again, and now just being open again, in large part due to the advocacy of the LA Brewers Guild. You know, most of the breweries in Long Beach are guild members and have put a lot of effort into educating our legislators so they understand the difference between a brewery and a tap room and a bar and the nuance there and how we can operate safely. And I am so happy to be open again. When this whole thing is over, go visit your favorite guild member brewery, check out their tap room. A lot of us have got great outdoor space going on. Depending on how timing works out, I might give us a little video tour out there if Dennis says I can. But you know, this is thank you, Dennis. But this has been a rough year, and it's only through the local, the grassroots, the advocacy, the partnerships, being team players, and promoting that we are responsible players and we're following the rules and we're looking out for the public safety first. Because if we're not safe, we're nothing. And you know, your safety, my safety, the safety of our team, our brewers, our staff, that's what's most important. And we're really excited to be here and to do our part. I think I've got some other questions here. We've got a yum, so that's good. I'll take a yum. And while we've got the camera out, go ahead, Dennis.
Looks like someone's has a question asked, who designed your cans and labels?
So we've got a whole bunch of cans out here, and all of these, with the exception of one, were done by Corey Wolford. His handle is @Seawolf. He's a local Long Beach guy, super talented, almost obnoxiously so, because you give him like this really vague, loose concept, and he just returns you this amazing draft that's like 99.9% of what it should be. And then it's 100% and 110% after like one revision, which is unheard of in this world of packaging design. It's really difficult. We've got a few things out here. We've got Saz Queen. This is a Czech Pilsner. This was done by a gentleman named Nick Longo. We've got Lagerdoodle, which is a feisty copper lager. This one was done by Corey, and he actually hand drew Millie, who I'll introduce in a minute. He also did Viking Blonde, and see if I can get the glare off. Viking Blonde was just a fun idea. Sometimes names don't always have that much meaning. They just sound cool, but he did a great job and just banged it out. We've also got Alla Playa down here, which is one of our most popular beers. So you can see that guy down there. It's the vision of your perfect day at the beach, and Corey did a great job with that. We've got Star Guide over here, which is a hazy IPA. Codebreaker, which is our Westie right now, and then or West Coast IPA. And also Troy on Holiday returns. So this is one of the first collab brews that we made with LA Ale Works up in Hawthorne. Originally, the beer that we made there was Holiday and Troy. When we made it here and made the pivot, it became Troy on Holiday. The packaging design is kind of similar. This was actually made by Kip's dad, who's a graphic artist. And in this version, we packed it full of grapefruit. So we actually harvested a couple thousand pounds of Oro Blanco grapefruits locally. And we also had grapefruit and other citrus fruit brought in by our local patrons. We processed all that, we froze it so we could have it ready in a time of need. And in this batch, we put in about 35 pounds of grapefruit zest and about 3 gallons of juice. If you've ever seen 35 pounds of grapefruit zest, it's enormous. We're talking like almost a garbage bag full of zest to hit that. And it made for a great result. So yeah, that's the tangent from who does our label design. I see
And
another
looks
question.
like Elise is asking, where do you source your honey?
There's no honey in any of this beer. The honey malt is actually the name of the malt, and it's named for its color and a little bit the aroma and the flavor you get from it, but there's no honey in this.
And then Myra and David are asking how you got started.
Certainly. So funny story. I got into brewing with a bit of reluctance, actually. I have a track record of going way too deep into hobbies. And it was back in 2008 or so. I attended a local How to Brew homebrew event at the Culver City Homebrew Store. I lived up in West LA at the time. And we made a Hefeweizen. I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. Like, I'll give this a shot. And ended up with a kit and made my first beer. And the first beer was really successful, which is actually pretty common for a lot of brewers. The first beer is great. And then the next like 3 to 5 are terrible. Got over the hump. And there was this moment where I was kind of like doing more and more and getting further and further into the hobby. And at one point I moved during this process and I realized that the closet in the laundry room would be a great place to ferment beer. And next thing you know, I'm adding an air conditioning unit to this one area because that was what I had at the time. And I had about a dozen beers fermenting at any given time. And I went from kind of like 0 to 60 overnight. And then in 2013 is when I met Alana, who's my business partner in the brewery and also my wife. And I kind of talked her into giving it a shot. And it went from, she comes from culinary and hospitality and food and wine. She's like, okay, I can get behind this. Like, brewing's fun. And we made 10 Hour, which was the first beer we made together. And I said, well, we should give this a shot. And she looks at me and she goes, well, give what a shot? I said, no, we should open a brewery. And that was back in by 2013, 2014. And that process from then to the kind of like wrapping our head around what it actually meant to own and operate a brewery. I took a whole bunch of time off work, went and worked at other breweries, visited other breweries. It was my objective that before we actually signed a lease or, you know, even started to write a business plan, actually, that I did as many jobs as possible at other breweries to kind of understand what it meant to be a brewery. Because it's fun to say, oh, I want to make beer, I want to drink beer, but the reality of actually running a brewery and cleaning kegs and cleaning equipment and formulating recipes and dealing with everything that's just so much bigger than when you're doing 5-gallon batches at home was a different animal. So it took us about a year to find the building we're in. It took us about 6 months to negotiate the lease. It took the owner of the building about 8 or 9 months to do their work before we could actually get in and start our improvements. And then our actual build out took a little over a year. And we opened on June 28th of 2019 at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. And we had 150 people here in the first hour and a half. It was really intense and incredibly rewarding to have kind of that Long Beach love. Like, people show up in Long Beach, which is really cool. You don't get that everywhere.
All right, we have some more questions for you. I see the sustainably brewed sign. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. And okay, I'm not seeing all these questions, just FYI. So we are one of the few sustainable breweries in California. We invested heavily in the mash filter brew house that's behind me. For those that don't know how beer is made, it's made with 4 ingredients: malt, water, hops, and yeast. And you basically start by taking the malt grain, you combine it with water, you make a sort of tea, that liquid becomes what's called wort, W-O-R-T. It's sugary. That's what eventually gets boiled and fermented and becomes alcohol. That process of making the tea, though, you combine the water and the malt, stir it all up, and then eventually you want to separate the solids, and you want to get rid of the grain, and you want to keep the liquid. So typically and traditionally, that's done with what is basically an enormous colander. So you let the liquid drain away, and then you actually rinse it again to get more of that liquid to make it into finished product, right? So that process, which is called lautering, takes anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, depending on what you're making. And some styles of beer can actually get stuck. It's called a stuck mash, where it doesn't drain. It's turned into cement. It's concrete. It's impossible. So I'm going back for a moment. When you do that draining, you do that rinsing, in the end, you recover the liquid you're going to recover, and then you end up with this big, a mash tun full of really soggy, wet grain, and you have to get rid of it. So that goes to your farmer and you grain out. What we do that's different here is we actually take that porridge, that initial porridge, the combination of the mash of the malt and the water, we send it through this filter that's behind me. And this filter actually mechanically squeezes the grain. And what's cool about that is a few things. One, that 2 to 4 hour process I described before, we can do in like 30 minutes reliably. Not to say it can't get stuck, but it's pretty rare. Secondly, it actually allows us to use different varieties of malt and grain that others can't. So with a typical colander setup, a lauter tun, if you use too much rice or too much oat or too much wheat, that's how you end up getting a stuck mash. That's how you make concrete that just won't drain. Whereas with this system, we can kind of get a little bit more creative there, which is really neat. And then the third part, and this is the really big one, is the sustainable feature. So by actually squeezing it, we recover all of that liquid, which means we actually use less water as well. So for a full batch of beer, we start with about 600 gallons, and we actually recover about 575 of that. Only 25 gallons is actually the moisture that's left in the spent grain that comes out. And the parts of that make for the sustainability, it's not just the water, actually. It's the amount of water you're saving, but every drop of water that's used in brewing is filtered. It's usually heated. So you have the natural gas, you have the filters, and then you have to pump it. So that's electricity. So in our process, we're using, just in this one portion of the process, we're using anywhere between half and a third of the water of other breweries, which means we're filtering less water, we're pumping less water, we're heating less water. And right now, for our brewery as a whole, based on our utility bills, we're using about half the water total of other breweries our size. And it's our objective to get that down to about a third, because really, we want to turn water into beer and not water into, wastewater or rinse water or anything else. And that water one is the one that's the most relatable, and it's funny what it touches too, because that spent grain that I described before, we actually put that in these big bins, and we have a farmer that picks it up and uses it for dairy feed for his cattle. And our farmer asked us, because why is your grain so dry? Why is it so lightweight? And we told him why. And he went on to explain that because our bins, even though our bin and a bin from any other brewery may actually contain 1,000 pounds worth of grain, but ours doesn't contain 800 pounds of water as well. So our bin weighs closer to 1,000 pounds. The farmer's truck can only carry so much weight. So he can actually carry more bins with the equivalent amount of grain and make fewer trips. So he's saving on diesel. It's another vehicle that stays off the road. It's just amazing how much that touches so many different places. And the mash filter that we have, we're one of, I think, 4 or 5 in California. Brewery West has one. There's one out in Coachella Valley. I believe there's one up in Northern California. And this technology is nothing new. The Belgians have been using this for about 100 years, or maybe even 1,000 years. It's old stuff. Just squeezing it's not high tech. But having this piece of equipment miniaturized and made affordable enough that a place like us could afford it and fit it in the building is a big deal. Every drop of Coors that you may have had, not to go away from craft for a moment, but every drop of Coors you've had in the last 40 years has been made with a mash filter, but their mash filter is the size of a city block, and ours is, fits right up against the tap room.
Cheers to that. Now, Sterling, to move on to the next beer, which we personally absolutely love. Can you tell us more about this amazing libation called Hula Moon, which is a tropical IPA?
Certainly. So Hula Moon was one of the beers that we actually launched with and opened with last year. It is made with El Dorado and Azacca hops. It's a tropical IPA, low bitterness, big on aroma. It is made with a Kvik strain. For those who are interested, any of the home brewers out there, Kvik is a Nordic yeast strain that was kind of rediscovered about 5 years ago. And it's known for giving off very specific aromas sometimes and having a very fast and vigorous fermentation. So this is one that Corey actually gets a ton of credit for. If you're looking closely, I know you have the can in front of you. We describe this as that kind of tropical beach vacation moment. It's big on pineapple. You'll get some guava in there as well. So Corey just made this. It was his creation completely. We've got our little Blue Moon dude floating around in a pineapple. I mean, with a little tiki umbrella, you know, it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, cheers to you, Trademark, and
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Sterling, I have a question. You guys had to pivot like everybody else when all this stuff happened with COVID, but you guys took a totally different route that I don't know if everybody really knows about what you guys did. Would you like to talk about that?
Certainly, the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
So I'll tell the story a few different ways because it's funny. You know, going back a moment ago when I was talking about the guild and, you know, kind of the community vibe of Long Beach and how much everything touches each other with the sustainable brewing, as I would fly. Not to get political. So when COVID struck, we had to close the tap room. All of our outside accounts closed. We had a bunch of beer in the cellar and a bunch of beer in the cooler and kegs. And we're like, what do we do with this stuff? So we, like all of our future brewing plans stopped. And that was true for most breweries. All the beer that they had planned to put into kegs to go to bars and restaurants had no home. So a lot of brewing was discontinued. And a lot of brewers that were bigger than us or, you know, more established than us switched to cans. And we looked at it and said, what are we going to do? We need to, you know, we can't make any more beer than we're going to sell. And we don't know how much beer we're going to sell. And there was also this huge demand for hand sanitizer, as I'm sure everyone remembers. You couldn't find the stuff. We were approached by Simon. He's the distiller at Portuguese Bend on 3rd Street at the Promenade. And Simon called me on a Saturday morning. He says, well, we can take alcohol and we can distill it to the high proof ethanol, like 90% ethanol that makes the FDA formula for hand sanitizer. The problem they had is to get from grain and to get to the fermentation process to make what's called wash, like the low proof, they only have 2 tanks. And because of how their equipment was built and what it was designed to do, they could turn those tanks about every 2 to 3 weeks. That was their expectation. Well, we've got 6 tanks that are, each of them is twice the size of yours. And we've got a brew house that can turn out a batch every 2 hours. So how do we pivot on this? And we came up with a formula of a beer, basically a 15% beer with this crazy cocktail of yeast. It was made out of half sugar and half malt. And we could ferment a 15% beer, about 1,500 gallons of it every 3 days. So in this process over a 3-month period, we made about 50,000 gallons of this 15% beer, which was distilled down to about 5,000 gallons of hand sanitizer. All of that hand sanitizer went to first responders and essential businesses, which in the very beginning, this is about Edison and the gas company and keeping the lights on and keeping basic core functions going, making sure the fire department has hand sanitizer, like no one could get it. So we did that for about 3 months. And going back to that tie-in though, the malt that we produced, the spent malt that we produced in that process actually went to our farmer. Our farmer had no malt from any breweries right then because no one was brewing. So what are they going to do? So the mere fact that we were making hand sanitizer, we didn't really make any money on it. We sold it at cost. We just kept up with payroll and kept some people going. And it helped a lot of people that couldn't find the stuff and needed it for their businesses and other reasons. And then also our malt went to the farmer, which meant he could keep selling milk from his dairy to the store and kept milk on the shelf, because otherwise he would have had to go out and spend money on grain that, you know, is extremely expensive relative to picking up from us for free. So there's going into that circle, everything touches each other. And we were just really happy to have the opportunity to partner with Simon, the guys at Portuguese Bend, to do something that was beneficial. And, we have this equipment and we have a facility, and, we got more beer than we know what to do with. So let's pivot and let's do the best thing we can in a time of need. And we're really grateful for that opportunity.
Well, a couple more questions, and then we will be wrapping up just to kind of keep moving through the amazing guests we have. But we have two things. Can you tell us about your tasting room currently with the ease of restrictions? When are you open?
Certainly.
Visit you. And then last but not least, it's October. What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, man. I'm going to do the horror movie one first, I think. Well, there was the one that you had on in the before times where the monster comes up to the toilet and eats you when you're
Ghoulies.
taking. That was really good. I mean, the stuff you guys play is otherworldly. I would say, gosh, probably Gremlin.
Cheers to that.
That's a classic, and that's like from my childhood, and it definitely messed with my head a lot as a kid. So about the tap room, actually, I've got my camera as my phone, so I'm going to walk around the tap room and show you the space and tell you what's going on. So bear with me for a moment. All right, so someone did ask, by the way, about the barrels. So I'll touch on that real quick. These are bourbon barrels that are filled with our coffee chocolate stout. We're going to release some of these in time for the holidays. We also have some with our Belgian triple, as well as these guys right here are filled with a sour that's tasting really good. That's made with Catalina plums, and we're stoked to release that. And because everyone wants to know, this is the Lager Doodle. Millie. Yes, she's ready for belly rubs. And I know, she's cute as a button. And this is her beer. Just make sure everyone gets to see it.
So cute.
So cute. So this is our tap room. Those who have been here before kind of know it as a different space. It's about 3,000 square feet. We normally have, I'm kind of walking through where the beer hall tables would normally be. We normally have a bunch of tables out here. We've got cornhole set up on this side in the games area. This is a big garage door that we normally open and just get some fresh air, and it's really lovely in here. Obviously with COVID, things have changed a little bit. We cleared out all the furniture, and we just try to keep it easy to keep everything super, super clean. And walking outside, hopefully the connection stays. Walking outside, we've gone to the beer garden program. So normally our patio here, which is about 750 square feet, normally the patio is just this, whereas now we've expanded and we've done the turf program. So we've got a whole lawn going, and we can offer a really nice experience where customers can come out, get a beer, sit in the sun, and enjoy the patio on a pretty day. And before anyone asks, yes, we do have outdoor TVs because Lakers and Dodgers. But yeah, this is our space. Hope everyone can come in soon. And now you can come back to me.
Thank you, Sterling. You got a beautiful brewery. You make great beer. You guys are beautiful people. So
We wish you guys luck, and we know this is a challenging time, but we're happy that everybody can get to come see it.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for including us, and we miss you guys, and better times ahead, but drink some good beer now.
absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Sterling, thanks again for letting us borrow your space to box all the beers and everything. So I really, really appreciate you for that.
Of course, anything we can do to help. Glad to be part of the community.
Thank you, Sterling.
See you guys.
Bye.
What do I do now?
Sterling,
I know,
am
right?
beat you off right now.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So before we move on to the next beer, I'd like to introduce Allison. She is from Rancho Los Cerritos, and since our festival is normally on the lawn of the rancho, but this year, since we couldn't do it, I still wanted to loop them in and be able to include the rancho in this event. So here's Allison to give you a few words.
Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Hey everyone, thanks Dennis for hosting this and letting us be part of it. I'm on a bench at the rancho, so this is exciting for us. So welcome to the third ever Craft Beer Long Beach Fest. Thank all of you for supporting local breweries and also
I think
supporting
it's the
Rancho Los.
fourth.
What?
It's the fourth craft beer LB.
Oh my God, I am so sorry.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wasn't at the last one, so I apologize. So the fourth one. We're so grateful for your support, especially during the COVID-19 global pandemic. In fact, frankly, your ongoing support is what is allowing us to have our beautiful grounds and outdoor spaces to stay open for you to visit safely as we go through this whole pandemic. You might remember our location from previous Beer Fest. You have my background, you got Dennis's background. We've all gathered together to celebrate our history and to taste and enjoy the great beer of Long Beach in our gardens. If you haven't had a chance to visit before, Rancho Los Cerritos is a historic site located in North Long Beach, Brewery Knolls area. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know a little bit about the site and what you can do when you can visit us in person or online. I would also like to acknowledge that we are guests on the sacred land of Indigenous communities. I extend our respect and gratitude to the many Indigenous people who call these lands home. The history of our land dates back more than 5,000 years, and it was in 1784 that Spanish soldier Manuel Nieto received a land grant of 300,000 acres that included the area known as Rancho Los Cerritos. And in 1844, the famous ranch house that is still standing today was built. The rancho was a sheep ranch, then subdivided housing for local farm workers, then a private family home, and in 1955 became the museum as we know it today. Now, that 5-acre site contains beautifully preserved historic gardens, which are open Wednesday through Sunday for you to visit. It is open and fully accessible thanks to the generous support of the community members like you. And during this time, you can walk through our gardens and learn about water use, which I believe is also made in beer, so a very good thing. And you can walk through our orchard and see tropical fruit that has been turned into beer thanks to our partnership with Liberation and other delicious goodies that are for sale in our museum shop. You can walk through the courtyard and see the exhibit rooms in the house decorated as they would have been during various time periods of the Adobe home's history. Or you can stroll through our backyard gardens and get away from it all for a while. To visit, you can either reserve a reserved time ticket slot online in advance or just walk up and visit. Site capacity is limited for social distancing and masks are required for everyone's safety. We also have virtual tours, exhibits, and family activities on our website, www.rancholoscerritos.org. The indoor spaces of the museum are closed for now, but you can take a virtual tour on our website. We have also been posting virtual exhibits and collection highlights. While we can't do them in person, we have a variety of fun and educational family activities, including Tuesday morning story time and Long Ago Long Beach. In addition to hosting events for our partners in the Long Beach community, the site is also open for booking all kinds of outdoor events, from photography sessions, weddings, and other celebrations. COVID-19 safety precautions are currently in place for all events. However, we look forward to continuing sharing the rich history of the site. We hope you'll visit us in person and take advantage of our online activities. It's been a pleasure to see you again, and I host my beer to everyone that is here and to Dennis for making this happen. And thank you for letting the museum speak a little bit about our site. And we hope in 2021, this will be back at the Rancho. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Allison. All right. Thank you, Allison. Really appreciate you coming on and talking about the Rancho. Moving on to the next beer. Hey, steady guys, you want to unmute your mic?
There you go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
Hi, Ryan. I'm Martin.
How are you guys?
Hey, Dennis. Doing well. Good.
Well,
How about you tell the people, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourselves. And
So I'm Aaron
we'll try to
Henderson.
say the name of this beer because we don't even want to.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll give you a little history on the name for fun, but actually, it's a trivia question, so I can't tell you until we do the trivia question. Aaron Henderson and Robert Booth, co-owners of Steady Brewing. The one partner we don't have with us is our brewer. He couldn't make it today, Dennis Russo. We've been a brewery since 2017. We are in the east side of Long Beach, Spring and Clark, in a strip mall. Where we have the business plan was to have some built-in food, so we didn't have to really struggle too much with food trucks, things like that. So, yeah, that's a bit about us. I'll let Robert talk about the beer for a minute.
Well, I'm Robert, Long Beach native. We did the Oktoberfest last year for the first time. We were really hoping this year we were going to be able to do a little bit more in our new space with Oktoberfest. But, you know, that's the way things turned out. You know, we're all in this same thing together and just kind of, you know, making stuff work. Actually, I'm gonna let Aaron talk more about the beer because he knows the,
Well, this is a straightforward Oktoberfest type of beer. It's, you know, Dennis isn't here to give us some fine details, the brewer, but it's just made with Vienna and Munich malts, and it's got moderate bitterness with the Tettnang and Hersbrucker hops. So it's real straightforward, which is kind of a common theme with city brewing beers. Nothing over the top, nothing super experimental, real drinkable, real straightforward.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
So, how have you guys changed things during COVID? What are your operating hours looking like right now? People come see you. I know you guys have patio space.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like a 2-year grand opening. Those who followed our path and our growth know that we had a very small location with a very small brew house, and then we quickly expanded into the suite next door in the same strip mall, and then just at the beginning of this year, we moved into the largest space in the strip mall. So we're at 2936 square feet. Anyway, and that allowed us to put our larger brew house in. So it was just bad timing. So when we were ready to open was basically when COVID hit. We had, I think, 6 days where people could actually come in and look at the new space. The old space was fun. I had a really good time designing it. The new space is way cooler. Me and my wife designed and pretty much did everything in here. So we're really proud of it. It's got a different look. It still feels hip. I don't have a portable camera to kind of walk you through here, but you couldn't enjoy it anyway right now. But yeah, we're just really happy. So anyway, the COVID happened and we weren't really able to open. So like everybody else, it was, okay, so what are the rules? What can we do? What can't we do? And we did our best to sort of follow that. And even with the latest information that got released as far as opening up with a verified food vendor, we're still in a position we've been since this all happened, once we were allowed to sell beer to go only. So that's what we've been doing. And I'd say the one thing that has helped us is, I believe we're either the only or one of the only breweries in Long Beach that has their own canning line. So the ability to can everything right off the line and not have to deal with minimums and any other charges, that's really helped us. So we've developed a bit of a connection with the community that we have those cans ready to go. And the fact that this new space I've been talking about used to be a liquor store forever kind of helps. So it's kind of people have connected that also. So that's been what's sort of getting us through. The latest mandate is good for everybody, that we can now partner with these food vendors to get the bona fide meal. So this is fantastic. Some of the places that some of the breweries that were having difficulty doing the beer to go thing, this is going to definitely get them hopefully closer to where they want to be. So we're just kind of plugging along in the same path we've been, hoping for those numbers to stabilize and hoping for everyone to be able to open and obviously safely, but open and move forward with all their business plans and all their aspirations, including ours.
Yeah, and our hours have shifted a little bit. We're 12 to 8 every day now with the center. So we have a couple of really awesome neighbors in our center. So opening with those guys and having outdoor seating for those guys in the beginning was really helpful when the parklets were allowed and all that stuff. So it's nice. It's we're just really hopeful for the to start reopening slowly and see when that happens.
Real briefly, I don't want to go on too long, but kind of to elaborate on what Robert's saying is that we additionally own a fabrication company. So our partners here in the center wanted to use some of the parking spaces within the center for an outside sort of dining area. And we were in a good place and had the time to make that a reality. So currently at the Times Square Center, which has Steady Brewing, Baja Sonora Mexican food, Yang Chow, Creative Cakery, and a coffee parlor, we all came together, we all worked as a team, and we got this together so that the neighborhood could come distanced, have their food, and enjoy the outside. It doesn't directly benefit Steady, although we might get some walk-through people that are looking for beer to go. But again, it's some of the stuff that the Sterling was talking about earlier, with just being with the community really matters. And you really want to partner with your neighbors and you want to do the best that you can because it's cliche, but it's tough for everybody. So we were able to help out on that aspect, which in the long run is going to help everybody when we get closer to a normalcy.
And by the way, this beer is delicious. Do you guys have any fun beers planned for the rest of the year? Any good coming up releases? Anything you want to share with anybody? And then also we'll hold, one of the last questions will be favorite horror movies, TV shows. It is October. You let us know what you guys, what you're into.
Absolutely.
Freddy Krueger scared the shit out of me as a kid, so I don't really watch horror movies anymore at all. My kids actually do, so that was kind of trippy. I was like, I'm not watching that with you. So I don't have a horror movie, but I'm sure Aaron does.
Well, I lean onto the psychological torture. So for me, both versions of Funny Games, I think, pushes all my buttons. It's one of my favorite films. Both versions, absolutely insane. As far as what's planned for the rest of the year, I think every other brewery is going to acknowledge that we are. I mean, these are COVID times, but it's also sort of the slowest time for everybody. We probably will bring back our Belgian relatively soon, but that's not a new beer. That's a beer we've had in the past. Then I think the goal is to brainstorm at the beginning of the year and sort of think what we may do for the year coming up. I mean, just recently we did a really light lager that we hadn't done before. It's called Poolside. We're aware that that's being used a lot now, but it kind of felt right with the beer. And that beer has done really well for us. We did a second-year anniversary that was based on Grasshopper. We called it Grasshoppier. We swapped out Citra. We put in Comet and Medusa hops, and we used twice as many as we normally would for dry hopping. That beer is doing really well. So we have done some stuff recently in the past, but as far as the future, I think we're really going to be sitting at the first quarter of next year and thinking about where we might go with some new styles.
We have a lot more. I mean, now moving to the bigger space, that's a lot bigger of a brew system for us as well. So we have a lot more opportunities to do stuff. Before we couldn't keep beer in stock, so now we actually can. So we're looking forward to doing some pretty interesting things on our new system and all that stuff.
And finally, I promise this will be it. Thank you, Ryan, for bringing up the idea of seltzers way back in the day, because I hadn't even thought about seltzers. I didn't even realize it was a thing that was happening. So after you had mentioned that was something that you were really focused, this a couple years ago, I think, year and a half ago maybe, but you mentioned it was something that you were really interested to see where that was going to go. That inspired us, or me personally, to go that route. And we have done really well. We've gone through probably 7 or 8 flavors now. And currently on tap, we've got 4, and they're not going anywhere. They're doing really well. The community here likes them. We have them on tap, and we can them as well. So, hey, thanks for that, Ryan.
If you have an extra keg, send it our way.
No problem.
We do have one question. How do you pronounce this name of this beer?
One second. Hey, Moni, can you come here and pronounce the name of the beer, please? My wife is going to come up and pronounce it because she's German and she can say it correctly.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, it's my fault. And you say it Ölbohrturmpumpenheber. Okay, your turn.
That's exactly what I thought.
So real quickly, the joke on that is I think the trivia already went up, but the joke is it translates very literally to oil drill tower pump machine. So that's our early logo of the pump jack, the oil pump jack. So it's not a correct German word for that, but it's a fun thing that we did.
Nice.
Fun. And happy 2-year anniversary, I guess you missed.
Yeah, just passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Quarantine anniversary.
Exactly. Cheers.
Aaron, before you guys go, there's just two quick questions. One says, are you selling your cans at any shops in Long Beach, and what kind of beer do you all specialize in?
So real quickly, the distribution model was being developed right when COVID hit, because we had such a small system initially. We weren't able to keep up with how the beer's being consumed. And that's not saying that we were doing like gangbusters, but we just had a small system. So that was part of upgrading our system to the current system we have. So we were just implementing it. So right now we're still working through that grind. And then that was a long answer, but short answer is yes. We have kegs in some restaurants, and we have cans sporadically. I mean, Lazy Acres is pretty standard for our Pilsner and Grasshopper. And Robert, did you have?
Yeah, I mean, we're in all the corked, obviously, and but there's a few other ones. So we're working on that, and it'll be out a little bit. We'll probably be a little bit more available in the coming months.
And what was the second part of that? I'm sorry, I forgot.
What do we specialize in?
What do we specialize in?
Really, I mean, to be honest on that one, we specialize in drinkable beers. I mean, nothing too over the top, nothing, too bottom line. It's a lot of our neighborhood likes to, drink a lot of lagers, a lot of pilsners. So we've been doing a lot of those, and the IPAs that aren't too crazy, like any West Coast stuff like that. We do some of those, but that's not a big draw for us. So I'd say, we don't specialize in any one particular kind of beer, but try to keep it more on the super drinkable side.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Also, just for the polling, the correct answers, looks like most people got it correctly. What size brew house did Steady start with? Answer is
2-barrel.
2-barrel?
2-barrel. Sorry, 2-barrel.
Oh, actually, yeah. So no, most people got it wrong. People got 3-barrel. So it's 2-barrel. And what does Ölbohrturmpumpenheber mean?
Pumpenheber. Yeah. So we explain that. I mean, basically in German means oil drill tower pump machine.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for doing this, and thank you guys, Ryan and Martin, for hosting. Awesome. Love the hood there. So it's very scary and moody. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Here.
All right. Trusted guys, turn on your cameras and turn on your mics, please. This should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this one. All right, we got Trusted Matt's mic, TrustedGut's mic on, Trusted Matt's. There you go.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
Oh,
Good day, sir.
How's it going, guys?
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Are we coming in loud and clear? Can you guys give us a little thumbs up, little shaka? Okay. Want to welcome everyone. I'm Pat Parnell, Minister of Propaganda for TrustedGut. We are going to be opening up in spring 2021, and honored to join everyone here. If you're part of the fortunate few, you're holding one of these, and that is our first outing, a collab with the legendary, beloved Belmont Brewing Company. Hey Neighbor, strawberry tart blonde ale. We'll get to that in a moment, but we just wanted to kind of treat everyone, because I know everyone's been in the confines, the COVID confines, and we are in our bubble. I just want to point that out. We stay within kind of this bubble, and honored to be joined by none other founder of TrustedGut, Chris Garrett. We got Dan Hofstadter here. I'm not sure what Dan does. I know he's really creative. Have you figured it out yet?
Creative hanger-on.
Creative hanger-on. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
But Chris, tell everyone a little bit about the brewery, because the space is insane.
Yeah, that's right.
It's huge.
That's right. So TrustedGut is obviously the newest brewery here in Long Beach, and thank you, obviously, Dennis and the group for welcoming us. We're really, really excited to be a part of this. This is our first one here in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're going to be doing much, much more. This is TrustedGut was started and founded in late 2018, but early 2019. We're located over on Broadway in Redondo, right near the Attic in Belmont Heights. Our facility is 13,000 square feet. We will be putting a quite significant, brewery operation in there, inclusive, and we'll throw it to Matt to talk a little bit about the brewery. But the brewery itself is very exciting. We're 1.5 blocks off the beach. Surrounded by popular restaurants and bars. We're real excited to get going. Obviously with COVID, it's been a bit of a delay. We finally have just broken ground after 1.5 years of planning. I'm sure, our fellow breweries out here can empathize with what we've been going through, but we're through the hardest part now.
City Council, we love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Just want you guys to know that.
Susie Price and the crew has been real helpful. We had several council meetings that we had to work through, but we're through all that negativity now, and we're into the positivity. So so TrustedGut is a double entendre. Obviously, trusting our intuition, all of us as entrepreneurs and small business owners, and then trusting kind of what you're going to put into your gut. And really, that was the premise of starting the brewery. I'm a huge beer enthusiast. My role within the organization is just to bring great people together and really support Long Beach. And I'm from Long Beach. I grew up, about 1.5 miles from here where we're located. We're actually on the peninsula in Long Beach here, on the sand, and we spend a lot of time out here. Right?
This is called a Bay Day.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Yeah, that's right.
You crush these and you get bronzed.
Sure.
The Groms
hanging out.
Yeah, you get drive-bys. I think the Hamey, El Capitano might be swinging by.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we are going to have Daniel Drennan, the founder of Beer Paper. He's going to be swinging by. But most importantly, we're going to be checking in with the superheroes of brewing. We think they're superheroes because at TrustedGut, we're going to be doing we got seltzer, hard kombucha, and beer. So we're going to be checking in with 2 of our brewers. First, we'll be checking in with none other than the legendary Blackwell from Belmont Brewing Company. But before we get to that, maybe why don't you let's share a little clip to all the viewers out there, kind of give them an idea about Hey Neighbor, kind of how it started and the
Dennis,
process.
Can I get screen sharing capabilities, my friend?
So we're gonna take a little look at a little Hey Neighbor, and then on the tail side, we'll be checking in with Blackwell, and then we'll be hearing from none other than Matt Lindemuth. So
here's a little video we put together.
I don't know if you guys are playing the video yet, but we can only see some files.
Oh, oh, you can't see it.
No, we can only see. We can see 4 files and a folder. 3 files in a folder.
You may have heard we're brewers and creative guys, not tech.
All right, let's go back.
Oh, now rewind it. There you go.
All right. Sorry about that. Little tech difficulty.
We're better at making beer.
I think we need to start the video over for a second. Yeah, come back over here. Come back to the share your screen, but make sure you select share your sound as well on the checkbox on the bottom. So stop sharing for a second.
Right, stop sharing.
Stop sharing, then share screen. And on the bottom, there should be a checkbox that says share computer sound. Optimize screen for sharing.
This is why we do the rehearsal.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Take 33.
Yeah, there we go.
Being a newcomer isn't a bad thing.
I remember the first part of that question. We didn't want to build a place for 10 years, 15 years. We wanted to build an institution.
I came in with Chris and TrustedGut, and we immediately get introduced to BBC, who have been here in Long Beach forever.
Strawberry Blonde has been one of our staples for a long time, 25 years or more.
We're taking a classic beer of theirs, and we're throwing some new progressive twists to it. Blackwell, he is making their best-selling beers over and over and over again. He is an absolute beast.
Blackwell, come on in.
It's Mr. Blackwell to you. The plan that Matt came up with to upgrade this classic Long Beach beer.
We are using real, organic, quality products to make quality beers.
Brewers get together and talk about something that a lot of people think is kind of gross. We talk about yeast.
Well, I'm excited to bring the Philly Sour Yeast out to you guys. And so it's an all-natural strain straight from Philly. It's actually from an oak tree in a graveyard that neighbors the university.
As far as like what I've heard about most East Coasters, he's actually a pretty cool guy, you know? The local beer scene here in Long Beach has really bloomed. I've been living in the neighborhood for about 11 years, so to see the collaboration with the BBC and TrustedGut is extremely important.
When we were approached by TrustedGut, you know, it kind of felt like the old days when people helped each other, and that feels right.
The fact that we get to be a part of writing the next phase of history with them in being the newest brewery here is pretty incredible.
Chris, you're in the frame. Okay.
All right.
Wow, that was so smooth. Can you top me off here, Chris? Give me a little little froth. Yeah. All right. So we are now joined by right there. It's Blackwell. As I'm spilling beer everywhere here, but this is what this beer is supposed to do, right? It's
effervescent.
Okay, you are yeah.
Definitely.
So you are head brewer at the oldest brew pub in LA County.
Yeah.
Belmont Brewing Company.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? Like you've been around for a while.
Old
in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better than being dead. I moved out here from Albuquerque for this job in 1999. Best job I ever had. Just loved being there. Oldest brewery or brew pub in LA County, and great ocean view. Really nice people to work there. A lot of our employees have been there plus 20 years, like myself. And yeah, it's a fun place to work. We make classic beer styles for the most part, and great IPAs, great stout. So come check it out.
And when you get accolades from the likes of Lindy, he just calls you a beast in terms of consistency.
Warms my heart.
Right?
Yeah.
As a
feels
brewer.
Really good. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how'd you meet this guy? How did you come to find out about TrustedGut? Because we were kind of under the radar. We were trying to be sneaky. Yeah.
Oh, you can open a new brewery in Long Beach,
Yeah.
especially that close to my brewery. Find out about it, and actually, just sort of started driving by. See, every once in a while when I'm in the neighborhood, just to, go that way and see. And one morning I saw the door open and Chris was in there. And one of the first things he said to me was, hey, we got to do a collaboration with you. And I said, absolutely. Geez, that was a year ago.
That was.
Yeah.
It was.
But
and
yeah,
you knew
we did it. Here it is.
I should say too this about Blackwell. He knows how to break bread or actually break bottle, because you came in with 2 big growlers, right? It was like, all right, guys, let's get to know each other. 15 growlers later.
15 growlers later.
Yeah. And what about bring us through the process when the whole collab idea was kind of hatched. Yeah.
I got to hand it to Matt. He really, he came up with this idea, knowing that we've made a strawberry beer for a long time, and he came up with a modern twist with a brand new yeast that's brand new on the market. That really, it's a really interesting yeast. It has, it makes a little lactic acid and makes it into kind of a tart ale. It's not a true sour, but it's all done in the fermenter, and it's really flocculent. It drops out. So see how beautiful the beer is. That's not filtered. We didn't put any findings in it.
You can see that color.
And the color just came out great. So we put some strawberry puree in it, as well as threw a wacky yeast at it. And otherwise, it's just a blonde ale recipe. And that was really fun to brew. It was fun to have some guys in my brewery bringing some different energy in there for a day. And then the beer just came out so good.
Dan, you frequent the BBC, and they're sold out, right? They sold out.
Yeah, apparently you cannot get it on tap anymore.
Nope.
And I blame you guys for not making enough.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to. Should we bring Lindy in?
Sure.
I think Dennis, if you can bring Matt Lindemuth, he is our head of recipe and brewing. There you are, buddy.
Hey.
Aloha.
Hey, neighbor.
I'm a little jealous, neighbors, because I'm sitting in my high-rise apartment in Philadelphia and not on the bay with you.
We know you bounce back and forth. I know Chris and I have known you forever via Action Sports and skating and snowboarding. Give the good people a little bit of kind of background on you and how you came onto the TG team.
Yeah, well, real quick background. Chris and Pat are just a couple years older than me. I started traveling in the action sports world with these guys in the early 90s, and I was very young when I started traveling. So these guys, I was looking up to these guys, and they taught me how to travel a little bit. I remember going to Corsica with Pat on side excursions and things like that. Long story short, though, I was taught by these guys when we're traveling to explore a city, explore a town. And so I really got into checking out craft brew pubs or breweries wherever we were traveling. And I just became a hobbyist like most of us. I loved it. And we had the luxury of traveling on other people's dimes for quite some time. So I just was a fan of craft beer. And I was spoiled because we got to travel the world and check out all these places. When that career came to an end, it led into, pursuing a commercial side for me of what's my next career going to be. And I really dove into the brewing industry and went and did some formal schooling and things like that and apprenticeships and whatnot. And then here we are. So it was kind of like this beautiful reunion of all of us getting together. Chris reached out to me. He knew I'd been in the industry now in the brewing world for a while, and he said, "Hey, I've got this concept. Come out to Long Beach," and here we are.
It's a no-brainer. I know you've had Success 2 awards with the Larimer and Saucony. Talk about what you wanted to bring with this collab. It was the first kind of project that we were aiming for. So maybe you could put a little
I was excited
spin on it.
I was excited to bring a little bit of my East Coast roots out and join the project. And it just so happened that Dr. Matt Farber at the University of the Sciences here in Philadelphia had just finished developing, it was 6 years in the making, this Philly sour yeast. And something that he and his students do is he sends them out on yeast hunting excursions throughout the city, and they just swab stuff all over town. And they happen to find this strain on, like we said in the video, on an oak tree in a graveyard behind the university. And they realized that there was some potential to it, so they kept working on it and developing it. And they realized that it was producing some pretty broad flavors and lactic acid through the fermentation process. So they kept working on that, and all of a sudden it landed. And I got super excited just to use a product that was called Philly Sour and came from the streets of my hometown, sort of thing. So I started playing with it and brewing with it, and then it just seemed to be a perfect fit to put a new twist on the classic strawberry blonde that Blackwell's been making for so long. And it's this nice tart twist and just kind of extra, kind of just perks your taste buds up a little bit and adds that just a little bit more intensity of fruit on the afternote.
And can we call it, like, it's rather sessionable, right? Are you a little surprised by it, Blackwell?
Low alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the tartness is so refreshing that just leaves you wanting more.
Obviously, I was only there to brew with you for one day. So compliments, it turned out fantastic. I think the color's beautiful. Everything just very nice and well-rounded. And the clarity is incredible considering how much puree went into it. But you're right, it is a super flocculent yeast. So there's a few challenges with that yeast strain, but I think it turned out wonderful.
Yeah.
So all in all, good collab so far, right? I mean, permission to speak freely. I know Blackwell can hear everything you're saying, Matt. So yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I won't say the other things that I mentioned before. No, I love you, Blackwell. I'm messing around.
I know.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back out to Long Beach soon. Obviously, some travel complications with COVID have been keeping us from going full steam ahead. But with the equipment and the brew house coming in soon and everything getting installed, I can't wait to get out and brew and have that backdrop instead of the old haunted state penitentiary behind my building.
All right. Well, we look forward to having you out. As all the people watching, it's going to be spring 2021. I know you gotta get. Are you mashing or brewing today?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Back to the brewery.
We say goodbye to Matt.
Cheers.
We say goodbye to Blackwell, and we're going to bring in Daniel Drennan, founder of Beer Paper. So thanks a lot, Matt.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So Daniel, come on in. What are you drinking these days? What'd you grab out of the pack?
I grabbed a tall, dark, and handsome from Scholb Brewing.
Yeah.
Which I always kid. They named the beer after me and gave me no royalties.
What? That doesn't seem right at all. Yeah.
But it's all right. So they're down on 4th Street. They also have their original brewery up in Torrance. But Beer Paper was born and bred here in Long Beach as well, just like you guys are going to be. And we always proudly, for the record, proclaim that Beachwood was our home brewery. That's where Beer Paper was thought about, founded among beer drinking fans. Essentially, Beachwood regulars founded Beer Paper when they went down to San Diego back in the days where LA had like 3 breweries.
Right.
And so you had to go to San Diego, and San Diego had a paper called the West Coaster. And my buddies, Aaron and Rob, went down and said, oh, God, San Diego's so far advanced beyond LA that they have a Beer Paper. We need a Beer Paper in LA. Light bulb moment.
Right.
So,
and you're a neighbor. You're actually a neighbor of Trusted.
So I live blocks. I actually live dead center between Belmont Brewing Company and Trusted Gut. So I'm the perfect conduit for this relationship.
Wow.
So yeah, we're regulars at BBC. We pretty much go there for brunch every single weekend. I told you guys when I met you at Casey Brannigan's, another local establishment, that just brew great beer and you're actually going to be sick of me if you pull that off.
That's right. That's right.
So you'll be like, Daniel, could you come a little less frequently, please?
The light is always left on and the door is always open for you.
Nice. I like to hear that.
Yeah, I know Chris was really excited when he found out we had such royalty as neighbors.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, writing about beer versus just like scripts is way cooler, right?
No,
it's
way more fattening.
Yeah, way more fattening. Okay.
I was telling everybody I was going to peel off my Trusted Gut shirt because I've got rid of the beer belly over the 7 months of COVID. So I kind of want to show off the COVID bod.
The COVID pod.
I had the beer belly dad bod before.
Yeah. Well, we're unapologetic during times of COVID. We'll just keep making more beers. Not a problem. Should we? I know we got to wrap things up here, guys. It was. I know the Capitano just came through. Should we maybe
Should we do the first annual beer bong?
Yeah, I think Bay Day beer bong, if that's okay, Dennis. Are we?
Anyway, Dennis. Props to Dennis.
Yeah,
love
thank you
bro.
so much.
Thanks for being Craft Long Beach and bringing more of a spotlight to Long Beach. We love you.
So Dennis,
Beer
if we can,
paper salute you.
if we can,
Yeah, I love
if
you
we
guys
can-
too, man.
Hey, Dennis, if we can send it off in Bay Day style, we'd love to. We're gonna have the Capitano just do a quick a beer bong here, and then we'll send it back to home base there.
There's a
That's
couple
okay.
of questions. Do you want to do the questions before the beer bong? You want to do the beer bong first?
I think we should do beer bong into the questions. It might get us in
All
the
right.
mood.
I don't want to see any spillage.
No spillage.
Yeah. So this is a first for Hey Neighbor. We've
I think you need to put like 5 of them in there for this guy.
That's not nice.
One's not enough.
And this is one of the few places where you could actually drive your boat up, grab a beer, and then get back in. Wow, that's just amazing. That's amazing. You guys, can we get a round of applause on the beach?
Oh.
We had a guilty pleasure, Dennis. So, Dan, Chris, they want to hit you with some questions.
Danielson.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There says, where can we get your beers? That's
Sure,
the
sure,
first
sure.
question.
So we're starting to distribute actually in the next 2 weeks. The Hey Neighbor beer will be out, and it'll be in about 10 different retailers here locally. So you'll be able to get it at Belmont Heights Market. You'll be able to get it locally at a couple of restaurants. So you'll start to see it. Just check our website, and we'll give you all the information there.
Awesome. The next one says, what is the story behind your branding? Your ever-changing sign is fantastic.
Sure. Sure. Well, I mean, we can let Dan kind of talk through that.
Okay.
It's the musings of a tortured mind who is yelling over music played on boats. The sign itself is possessed and wants to communicate to the rest of Long Beach. So I'm just a conduit for that.
Final
so
question.
The sign is our way to talk to people, and obviously it's in front of the brewery. We repurposed the old auto repair facility sign. We wanted to let the neighborhood know we were coming, and we came up with the idea of doing a marquee. The logo and the branding for Trusted Gut, obviously, being from Long Beach, we wanted an iconic Long Beach symbol. So we took the Long Beach lighthouse and turned it into a beer stein. And that'll be we call it the Steinhaus logo, and that'll be our logo going forward. And again, since we're a kind of sort of a brewery and planning at this point, we're just excited to be a part of this. The Belmont Brewing Company. Matt has been brewing beer. You just heard Matt's story, but Matt was being he's being a little conservative in talking about himself. But Matt has been brewing beer for more than 10 years. He's got a great brewery on the East Coast. He's selling beer throughout 9 different states, also in Colorado. So he's been doing this a long time. And that was one of the things I wanted to do, was bring in, those that have different skill sets than myself. Obviously, I'm a beer enthusiast, but I'm not a brewer. As Matt said, Pat and I have been traveling the world for 20 plus years and have gone to great beer halls. And we wanted to bring that to Long Beach, but we wanted to be purposeful in our approach. We wanted to take something and bring a community and add to the community. So we're so blessed and so thankful to be a part of this event. Thank you, Dennis, again. But more importantly, as important, we want to be a part of the community and help others. And that was our idea with the Belmont Brewing Company. Is they're the oldest brew pub, and we wanted to pay homage to the respect of Blackwell and the two Daves and what they've done since the early 90s. So that was important for me in the crew here to really highlight that. So that was kind of our story. More to come. And again, thanks, Dennis, for including us. And hopefully you all enjoyed the beer, and again, this is the first of many beers. As Pat said, not only beer styles, but we're brewing hard seltzers and hard kombuchas. And you know, we have over 100 batches of each of those that we brewed, and they're super tasty, and we can't wait to share them with all of you.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Can't wait to actually come visit your location. You guys kind of been ghosting from me.
Or just come down for a bay day.
Or come down to the bay.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dennis.
All
Cheers.
right.
Cheers.
It really is delicious.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. I can see Ryan and Martin. How you guys doing?
Okay, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, it's been a good time so far.
There's no beer to drink for a few minutes, right?
I mean, I'm sure you guys have plenty of beer that over
Oh
there.
yeah, we're drinking a Crown and Hops elevated beer just in the break.
An audible, real quick audible.
Awesome. All right. So before we move on, I just wanted to let you guys know, usually at the festival, we have a booth with all of our hats and shirts and stuff. I just wanted to let you guys know that for the weekend, all of our hats and all of our shirts are available online for $20, and that includes shipping. So if I can find my browser, I could show you guys some of them. There you go. So here's some of the hats. I'll show you live in a minute some of the other hats that we have, but all of our hats currently are $20. Usually that's the price at the festival, and so we're going to go forward with that for the weekend. The discount will be automatically taken when you check out. $20 and includes shipping. So if you are looking for a hat, or if you want to just support, we have a bunch of them in stock right now, and we got a bunch of new ones. We also have this shirt. I will send out a link later on today, but there's a shirt that we have that's special for the event. That's not a festival event, not a festival shirt, but it's a support local beer shirt that is also limited to just this weekend, and we're only going to print as many as people order. I'll send out a link for these two. We have a men's unisex shirt, and we also have a women's shirt. The front just has the LB logo. The back has support local beer and Long Beach, California on there. So I will send out links to those if you guys are interested. Jump on and get those, and they won't be on sale anytime after this weekend. So that's a special just for the weekend. One more item, and I'll send you guys out links too. I have another brand called Local Beer Brand, and we have a bunch of shirts and a bunch of hats available, and those are all also $20 for the weekend. So take advantage while you can. I appreciate everyone's support. This is the best way. The festivals and stuff, I just do it for fun. It's just a way to promote all the local Long Beach breweries and stuff. But and the hats and shirts are also just for fun, mainly because I like to wear hats, and I started to make stuff that I like to wear, and then I started to produce stuff that other people like to wear too. So let me show you a couple of so the websites. I'll send you guys the links to those. I am going to turn off my background, and then you can see it's fine. We got some friends over here in the background sharing some beers, so they're trying to get out of the way so they're not seen. But All right, here we are. So there, this guy's trying to steal my hats. I'll send you guys the link in a minute. So here's some of the here's some of the most popular hats. We have this distressed denim dad hat. This is one of the most fast selling hats that we've had. This one is brand new. It's also a dad hat. It's a distressed denim. That one's one of our best sellers. We have this curve bill tropical hat. Has a tropical print on the bottom, but we also have a set. There's a flat bill, and we also have a kid size with the print on the bottom as well. Those are all for sale. The kids hats after the discount's actually only $15. And I also just made another kids youth size hat. It's the original black and white. Another brand new. This one is our rainbow pride hat. I'll send you guys links. We have some local beer brand hats. This one has a bottle opener. Probably our most popular beer hat is this one. This is probably our most popular. I probably only have about 5 left of these ones. If you're looking for something for the sun, I have this. But this one you're gonna have to come pick up at my house because I don't have a box big enough for this one. There's a whole bunch of hats. There's a whole bunch of shirts. Here's actually the actual shirt that we have that's limited for the festival. This is the women's size. This one is the men's, also unisex. And you could pick your size. We're not going to print them until after tomorrow. Someone's blowing up my phone, Chris. So order your size, order whatever size you wear. We will print whatever people order after the event. I will send everybody the link in a minute, but moving on, we will have Emily that's going to come on right now to give you a live performance, and I actually can't wait for this one. This is pretty awesome. Emily, I'm looking for you right now. I see you. Emily, I just turned you on, so if you can turn on your mic and turn on your video.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello. So here's Emily, guys. I'll send you some links to her social media stuff so you can follow her, and if you want to see more stuff that she's doing, here she is.
You guys still out there? I'm gonna play a couple
Still
more.
here. Yeah, go
Hey.
for it.
All right.
Thank you. Awesome.
It's so
Awesome.
weird to play to like an empty room.
Yeah. Thank you. You got one more or are you done?
I can, it's up to you. I can play forever, so it's up to you. It's but thanks for having me, Dennis. And if you want me to play more, I can, or you guys can move on, whatever you want.
What time we have here? I think we should move on, but I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much. It was awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Jessica, if you could turn on your camera and your mic, please. What? What is going on?
Oh, hello. Well, hello there. Cheers. Oh, cheers, sir.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, we brought our own beers, but we remember the Khakis was the next one up. So, how you guys doing out there in virtual beer land?
Ask, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Cheers.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm like, it's awfully quiet over there, you guys.
The background.
Hold on.
Cheers.
Go cheers, yeah. Hey, no, you don't even have the beer yet. Come on,
No.
come on, Carl. Hope you guys are doing well. We're from Beachwood Brewing, Long Beach, California. Yeah. Cheers, Phil. Yeah, it's good. No, I'm not gonna chug it, too. Right now we're drinking Khakis or Khakis, our hazy IPA, 6.8%. It's made with what? Mosaic, Citra, and Sabro, everybody's favorite hop.
Sabro's an interesting guy. It's a very polarizing hop, but it is really cool. It gives a lot of tropical flavors. Need to speak up. Sorry, we have some coaching over here. Get a little closer. You guys can hear us. It's a good idea. Yeah. How's it? What are we doing? Where's Martin and Ryan? Who's hosting this bad boy?
So yeah, if you guys don't know, Beachwood Brewing has been around Long Beach specifically since 2011, but we've been in Seal Beach. Well, we were in Seal Beach starting in 2006. We opened up as a barbecue restaurant with a bunch of really good beers on tap before there was a bunch of really good beers on tap anywhere. And luckily we kind of lucked into Julian Schrago and have the introduce our beer program to really complement our barbecue. I think that was the whole idea to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Downtown Long Beach has been doing really good down there. That brewery is awesome. A lot of people hopefully are already familiar with Beachwood, but yeah.
So yeah, we now have locations in Long Beach, Huntington Beach, and Garden Grove. You can visit us Wednesday through Sunday at the Long Beach location, Wednesday through Sunday at the Huntington Beach location, and every day of the week at Garden Grove. We
obviously had to change our hours a little bit for COVID, but we still have a lot of space outdoors and ready to welcome you back in, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like our HB location almost has a better setup than it did before. We have the whole outdoor patio there. It's like a really nice outdoor space, actually. Huntington Beach.
Sorry, it's a little loud right now. We're outside. We wanted to make it feel rustic. We got we're in the flight path.
It's a plane's going over. Anyway, so this is the beer we have for the virtual beer fest. Khakis or Khakis. It's a New England style IPA. Like I said, Mosaic Citra, some Sabro. Not the most typical, I guess, malts and things for the hazies and all that. Yeah, we use so much hops. We dry hop the crap out of these things. It's 5 pounds of hops per barrel, which are West Coast IPAs. We use usually like 2 pounds of hops, so it's over double the hops that we use in that style of beer to get a lot of our hop characteristics for this beer, which is pretty awesome. The Beachwood kind of brand, as far as when we started doing hazies, we still wanted to keep kind of a Beachwood aspect of that, so we just hop the crap out of them, so you still get a big, bold hop flavors.
And some bitterness too, which
and
a lot of haziness. A lot of hazy beers don't have. We still want to be Beachwood.
A little bit of bitterness gives some definition, which we really appreciate in our hazy beers. That way, you still get all the haze bros really get the big juicy flavors that everybody wants from a hazy, but some more West Coast Beachwood fans still get enough bitterness to cut through and really define some of the hop flavors and characteristics, and we kind of get to land on all parties that way. So, and the beers that we're really proud of, our brews are really stoked. So
you can find it at stores all around Long Beach right now. I don't want to list any to show my favorites, but there's like
he's got a list of favorites.
There's like 30 amazing stores all around Long Beach, so you can pretty much find it at any corner.
Fourth Horseman.
And a Fourth Horseman, yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys got a lot of it.
Couple more counts.
Couple more counts.
You just bought this 4-pack at P&B on Cherry and 4th. I know Stearns has it. I know Cork has it. I know Stateside Crafts definitely has it. Wine Country, of course. Everybody.
If you go to your favorite bottle shop and don't see the beer, just let them know to call us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should get there.
So yeah, we were talking about Beachwood for a long time. We also have Beachwood Blendery. I don't know if any of you are Lambic fans, but I'm a big old Lambic fan. We take our Belgian blonde, age it with some fun yeast, and it changes into some really, really interesting sour beers. And sadly, our Blendery location is closed for people to come in right now, but if you come to our Beachwood location on the Promenade in downtown, you'll find 8 taps right now of Blendery beers. We'll have some good 1, 2, 3-year-old blends, a lot of fruited lambics.
Yeah, we try to keep some Blendery stuff at all locations, but especially the pub. We've kind of married those ideas. There's a lot of Blendery stuff on tap at the pub, so we can keep a lot more of those styles pouring for everybody. Yeah, we're still making some great blends. I mean, the Blendery, we have a really cool program over there. It's really close, kind of near and dear to a lot of the hearts of Beachwood employees and a lot of our brewers and stuff too. We do a really slow process of making sure we keep as close to a tradition of making a lambic beer as we possibly can in that barrel house. And I mean, I think we're making some of the best sours out there in the States. I mean, it's awesome.
And Carl's being a little nice about it. I mean, we had sensors set up for 18 months at Cantillon in Belgium, so we can get their heat and humidity index. We could change it in our own brewery if you want to get real nerdy. So yeah, I mean,
our barrel house literally mimics their weather patterns and temperature patterns, which is pretty nerdy and awesome.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
It's kind of unlike anything else made in America right now. We right now we have Frambique just came out. It's a collaboration with Homage.
Getting ready to come
I don't know
out.
if you guys know Homage or Pomona, but they're killer. We also have a collaboration with Good Zurbar in Colorado. That's a rhubarb and it's a rhubarb sour. Let's see. So what else is coming out from Beachwood soon? We have Crowning Star IPA coming out very, very soon. Within the next week.
Right before us, COVID, the shutdown stuff. The Crowning Star was a really rad beer that we kind of set up for a really special small event at Beachwood at the restaurant. It was supposed to be like a pairing and some.
I had tickets.
It was going to be a really cool thing. Add that to the list of things that the pandemic has screwed up. But we decided that the beer still hit really well, just in cans, kind of post pandemic. So yeah, we're doing another batch of that. And we're gonna do a bigger batch, wider release. Really stoked because that beer is awesome. What is it? It's Citra Mosaic.
Citra Mosaic, that's it. And it's all proprietary hops, stuff that Julian picked out himself.
Handpicked. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a fantastic West Coast IPA classic and really, really, really good.
We're also stepping up our barrel-aged program for clean beers. So we'll be releasing 4 or 5 different barrel-aged beers in the next 3 months. We just released Draper's Dram, our Manhattan-inspired beer. That's a dark ale. Barrel-aged Vanilla Fudge is coming in December. That's first time ever that's in bottles. We got Sadie coming. We got 8 Buffalo in bottles coming. I don't know. I started working for Beachwood because I was a Beachwood fan. First time I came was in 2011 when they opened. And I like that Beachwood stayed true to their roots. And it's a pretty freaking cool brewery to work for.
Agreed. I don't think I was drinking as early as you were when I moved down here, but yeah, fantastic beers. Really happy to work with these guys.
Yeah.
It's really quiet.
Yeah. Is anybody there?
I feel like we're gonna find we've been on mute the whole time. Your microphone's been off the whole time. Like, oh.
People are asking who's coaching you on what to say. So maybe they could show
your
this.
sister is.
She's just dancing. Jessica is.
Yeah, bring Jessica on.
Awesome Beachwood person who helps with a million fucking things. So she's also helping with this too. We're getting some notes, some signals behind the computer, which has been helpful.
I'm not used to talking about Beachwood with 2 people. It's usually just me by myself. So it's nice to be reminded about what to say.
This whole virtual stuff is like still kind of new. You know, we're still getting figured out like what works best. It still feels really awkward, but
we're in a closet right now. So if it makes you feel any better, we're literally in a closet right now.
I mean, we are on a really nice porch.
Yeah,
I'm feeling really relaxed. Kind of a nice place to have a beer festival, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a nice beer fest.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Oh yeah, good call.
Real quick, Beachwood. Gotta ask this to everybody. What is your favorite horror movie? Go. Doesn't have to represent Julian.
Specifically here without my wife. My wife is at our apartment right now watching all of the scary movies that I won't watch with her because I'm a wimp. Any loud noise, I want to run from the room. That said, I do like Halloween a lot. That one didn't scare me. I think it's just fun.
Right.
Carl actually does.
I know. I was like,
being scared.
he's like, well, they're asking horror movie stuff. Like, I'm like, don't worry.
I don't whip.
No, I love horror movies, and I really like some of the cheesy kind of independent sort of film too. But I really, really like old school stuff. I really like old Vincent Price and Bela Lugosi stuff. I think the old school horror movies that were very much like plays. They had like stage actors, like the way like they're so dramatic in their movements and like they're talking. I just still really appreciate those movies, and like I really like Pit and the Pendulum and like White Zombie, that Bela Lugosi one. Like I love that film, and I still really, really like the silent film Nosferatu. It's such a cool, like you watch like these newer horror films where there's like so much going on, and I really like those too. But to go back and watch old school, like black and white, silent screen stuff, it's just cool to see how they got the same moods across, or tried to anyways, you know? Like I really appreciate the acting of some of those, especially Vincent Price. That guy's like so dramatic, and it's like almost funny sometimes. Like House on Haunted Hill, like is a great one. Like I love all those old ones, man. Like Vincent Price is a badass.
He's a legend, man.
You know, and on the same level as Vincent Price, I would definitely recommend the Hotel Transylvania series. It's really fun.
It's like the same thing.
Travis, do you like the new Halloween?
I like the old Halloween.
Did you watch the new one, or were you too
No,
scared?
I did not watch the old Halloween. I don't know. I watched it when I was a kid, and I didn't mind it. I wasn't like super scared by it. I don't know. I think it's a new. Any loud noises, man.
Loud noises.
The new Halloween was more like an action film. I thought it was more like a. Yeah, it was more like the newest one with Jamie Lee Curtis, where she's like fighting him again. It's like that's a freaking action film, man. Like she's like buttoning down the hatches and like fighting this dude. It's like it's not scary. I like the old Halloween stuff because Michael Myers was just like obnoxiously consistent. You know, like he never ran. Like people were just like booking their asses off, and they just like run like 3 miles. And like that's probably fine. He's like already there. He's like, gotcha. You're just like, what the fuck, man? I appreciate that because that's the scary part, right? It's like he's always right on you. And I think the newer ones aren't like using that as much.
And I think that's why I could watch the old Halloween, because I was never really scared of him because he really moves slow, and you hit him once in the head, he falls down.
Yeah, but he always got him though. He always got him anyways. Isn't that scary?
Jamie Lee Curtis is really bad at running. Just run away.
She's a bad runner.
Hey, Carl, since it's Beachwood related, when's the next Hell is a City album coming out?
Good question. We have banned it. I think this is like cross promotion now. Anyways, I don't know. I'd like to see when the next Hellas City beer is brewed again, but getting some pushback from the brewers on that one.
And for those of you who don't know, Carl's fronts a band called Hell is a City. You guys should definitely go to the Beachwood Brewing Instagram page and comment on whatever thing you want to, and just say, hey, I heard Hell is a City is a great band and there's a beer named after them.
Also, I like my band, hopefully, obviously, right? But that beer was also really good, so we should absolutely just flood that vote.
The beer and the band are great, by the way, so cheers.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Okay, are we just rambling on because we should probably move to
sorry. Sorry, Ryan's Closet.
Time's cut off.
Wait, hang on. There's a question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys know where the name Khakis and Khakis came from?
Khakis and Khakis.
Hey, can I get some khakis?
Yeah.
Can I get some khakis?
It's like it's just an East Coast dig, you know?
Go,
khakis and khakis.
Go for your most stereotypical Boston accent, deep Boston accent.
Oh, why?
Like just try to the worst you could ever imagine. Khakis and khakis. It sounds the same.
Like it is khakis. Like what did you say? Like khakis. Like is that khakis? Like no khakis. Like khakis or car keys? Is that? I don't know what you're asking me. Like no khakis.
Exactly.
So you're just like making fun of people with Boston accents.
Hey, you're doing.
I mean, it's also a New England IPA, so might as well make fun of those New Englanders. West Coast gotta represent.
Yeah, like we'll make the beer.
We'll make the.
I saw the preference.
That's awesome.
How much time we got?
I'm a big West Coast IPA loving guy, but it's a good beer.
Everything Beachwood makes is great.
Slowly sip.
That is true. That is true.
No, but like legitimately, Beachwood's been my favorite brewery since.
Dennis, cut him off. Cut him off. It's.
Oh, we're getting cut off.
See you guys later.
Yeah. Also, wait, what's those trivia questions for?
Oh shoot! I already forgot those trivia questions. Here, hold on.
Sorry, Carl. Golden Road's next.
Oh, is it?
We'll put on.
I know we're tickets up. Okay,
I'm kidding.
We're gonna start barbecuing.
There you go. Beachwood is up. You have 1 minute to answer.
Lovely.
1 minute. Don't need it. We're done.
Just
no.
So everyone on the internet knows I beat him twice in Chug Off City.
Oh, what? This isn't count. We were talking.
Okay, rematch.
We've all still like 4 beers though, so that's still a pretty good record. Whatever, man.
Here, the poll is up right now. Let's see.
What?
The poll's up.
As a homebrew.
Don't tell the answer yet. Don't tell the answer. How many beers does Beachwood Blendery brew?
Oh, you should explain it.
Oh.
You should
No, not yet, not yet. Hold on, give him 1
I'll
minute.
happily explain that one.
We gotta wait till someone's answer it.
All right, you guys have. We'll go to 1 minute and 20 seconds to answer. 45 people have answered so far.
You can start.
Oh, the Gene hair.
You didn't make it.
We floated a question that was gonna say how long is Gene's hair? I don't know. Hopefully, some of you know Gene, our brewer in Long Beach. He always has that ponytail. That guy's got really long hair, man.
I was gonna guess 5 inches. It was like what? Like
Exactly.
Oh.
You're crazy. It's like down to his ass, man.
Really?
Yeah. Like you better be careful in the toilet.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's long, man. It's long. It's long. It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame he's a bit done. It's gorgeous man.
All right. So people think which started as a homebrew. People thought Amalgamator. Can you guys answer that one?
That'll be Laurel.
Yep, Laurel was a homebrew recipe, and it's fantastic. We've made it multiple times. It's like a sleeper. It's not quite a core brand. We make it enough, but like when it pops out.
And just a sleeper for everybody watching. It's gonna be in Cairns next year for the first time ever.
Cheers. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You were on that same Zoom call.
The second poll question was, how many beers does Beachwood Blendery brew?
Ooh, what is everybody answering?
They thought 17.
2. The blendery, by its name, we only blend. It's like we brew 2 beers. We brew a blonde and a rye, and then we just different stages of that beer, different ages, different fruits. It's all just barrels, and then we start blending different barrels. We try them, we fruit them, and then we blend those. But we only actually brew 2 beers.
Yeah, lambic is a wonderful and beautiful thing. It's to me, it's far more about the blending than the brewing, because it's not about what you do with brewing. It's about how it acts in time. You could make the same beer, put it in 6 different barrels, and 3 of those barrels are horrible. They just, you taste it after 16 months, and and then the other 3 could have totally different characteristics. It's all about the blending. So yeah, just 2 beers.
It's a fun little fact for you.
Yeah.
Fun little fact.
Thank you guys for coming on. Anything else, Martin, that you want to ask him?
No, we're done with them. We want to move on. It's time to move on.
Whatever, Martin. I ordered a pizza like an hour ago. Where is it?
Oh.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Cheers.
Oh.
That was so good.
All right, guys. Thanks you guys for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. This is really fun.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Hi, Morgan.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys, from the off-camera crew.
Jessica, get on there. Say hi. There she is.
Morgan show herself too.
Yeah. All right. All right, bye, guys.
Oh yeah, especially when you're cool.
Show yourself, woman. Oh, they cut her off.
They're gone.
Oh.
All right. Next up, we have Larry. Let me find Larry. We'll bring Larry on. This guy. Larry, you can turn on your camera and your mic. Martin, where are you guys?
We're going home.
No, you're not.
I'm kidding. Hello? We're here. We're here.
I get you. Are you in your office?
We are in the dungeon in the back.
Yeah.
Temporarily. We're exiled for a moment.
Larry, if you're there, turn on your mic and turn on. There you go.
Hello, Larry.
Am I on?
We can hear you. We can't see your video.
This is my first Zoom, so start video.
I could tell.
Larry.
Oh, there he is. Where are you, in your car?
I'm at work. Should I turn it off or
Is it foggy over there or what?
out the window?
Clean off your lens.
How's that?
Yeah, clean off your lens. Oh no, look at that mug.
All right. We're shotgunning the beer right now. Let's do it.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
Hi, Larry.
Hey,
How are you?
good, good. I'm bummed that you guys are having fun and I'm stuck here at work for another hour.
What are you doing? What do you do?
I work in the port.
Ah.
So I'm the general manager down in the Long Beach port.
They probably don't let you drink while you're working then, I would imagine, right?
I know, not anymore. It's terrible.
Damn.
That's boring.
You're in your car, no one can see.
Oh,
can you see or no?
We can
Yeah.
see.
We can see.
Your beer smells great, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Do we have some of that?
Can you tell us about the name? Oh, tell us about you, and then tell us about the beer.
Tell us about Hog Canyon.
So we have a ranch up in Hog Canyon in Paso Robles. We are a fourth generation farming, and we do our own grain. Right now, we just took 5 tons of grain up to Alameda to Admiral Malting.
Nice.
They just bought from us, and they're doing pills and an ale grain for us, and they will take it and they buy it raw and they malt it and sell it. So that's kind of a cool thing. We do like around 600 acres of our own grains out of 14,000 acres we have up there. You know, I started this project a few years ago, and just by getting off the ground, it kind of stopped with this COVID thing and fighting with the city. But we're still going to go forward. We did open a tap room up in Paso Robles.
Nice.
So hopefully we get all our Long Beach friends up there, and it's a brand new facility. It's right downtown in Paso Robles, and then we're going to do a new building here in Long Beach as soon as we find a new one, because we were down the street from you, or up the street from you guys on up on Anaheim and Locust, but that building is kind of going sideways with the city and whatever. But we're still moving forward. We're going to start making our beers as well and getting them out there.
Is the place in Paso called Hog Canyon, or is it a different name?
It's called Hog Canyon.
Cool.
Yeah, it's in an open market, so it's kind of nice. Everybody does. There's a guy who does. They do wine. They do olive oil. We have 6 Airbnbs up there.
Wow.
And it's all a brand new facility. It's pretty damn nice, actually. So that one got off the ground for the Long Beach one, unfortunately, but we'll get back on track here pretty soon.
And what direction do you want to go with, with Hog Canyon? Like what specialty, like any niche that you want to try to kind of conquer, or what are your what's the game plan? What do you want to do?
So our game plan, we're going to definitely stay small. We have a wild ale that we contracted with Indie Brewing. They brewed for us. We brought it up. We shipped it up to Paso, hot in a hot tank. Nice. And we put it in a cool ship at nighttime, and we let it sit outside in the ranch with no fermentation. And it sat out for 16 hours. It's been in wine barrels. That will come out as soon as our license is ready to go. And Rava Winery up there is going to bottle it for us.
Nice.
And we didn't add anything. It pretty much got inoculated, all natural, and it's in wine barrels right now in Long Beach City. And so that should be pretty soon.
And when you get going in Long Beach, are you planning on canning? You want to do bottling? You want to do like some limited draft? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're just going to keep it kegs. We will do some canning as well. Bottles, I think I'll just do specialty bottles in the small batches. We want to get it out there as soon as we can. Everything is just kind of not at a standstill, but moving slowly.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a marathon.
What's the name, like the beer, Uncle Shoe's IPA? What can you tell us about the name and what the beer? It's 8.3. Tastes like 8.3. goes down a lot smoother, but maybe that's because you're like brewery number 6, but it definitely definitely goes down very smooth, I would say.
That one we did with Galaxy, Simcoe, and Citra. It's double dry hopped. We used the Indie Brewing, their facility, to do it. Uncle Shoes is a music guy. So if you scan the side of the can, it's his music. We added to the side of it.
Yeah, I was just trying to scan it, but I don't have the right app apparently, but that's just my fault.
It's house music. He was really cool. That beer actually sold out in like 48 hours. We did 160 cases.
It's really good.
Well, thank you. And we don't let anything out of our site, from if we use our own grain to putting the label on the can. It's canned in-house, it's labeled in-house, nothing ever leaves our site.
Nice.
So yeah, we have to ask you the same question. It's October. What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, my favorite one. I like Friday the 13th because it scares the shit out of you. Well, it used to anyway.
It still does.
Still good. Still great movies. And then with Long Beach, like when you get going, are you hoping to have a tap room outdoor patio, indoor? What's the kind of the dream game plan, if you will?
Yeah, it'd be a small tap room. Hopefully we can get something with a patio. I got a few real estate guys looking around for a nice building somewhere. I may put one down on 2nd Street. My friend has a building, an empty building down there.
Nice.
So
Belmont Shore, 2nd Street?
What's that?
Closer to Belmont Shore, 2nd Street, or 2nd Street?
Yes, because I live in Belmont Shore, so it's up on 2nd Street.
Well,
So that building's empty right now. We may start doing something there in the near future.
Beautiful.
I heard Rock Bottom's open.
You're making great beer, so keep us posted. We'll support you whatever we can, man. So
I appreciate that. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Good to
Thanks,
see you.
Larry.
Enjoy the rest of your workday.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Enjoy the weekend, bud. Cheers, bud.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
We just look at each other now, or what?
No, you're out of here. Ah, there he is. So
Hello.
next up we have Cristo from Brewmance.
Yes.
Hi guys.
Hey.
You see me? Now I see me. How you doing? I'm Cristo. I'm sitting here in sunny Naples, right across the Alamitos Bay from the boys at Trusted Gut, sitting on the beach there, enjoying the sunshine. So I'm a filmmaker. I made a film called Brewmance. And when I was finishing up my last film, I was trying to figure out what subject to do next. And I had just moved to Long Beach, and my buddy was a home brewer up in Santa Monica. And he told me about a homebrew club meeting, and he took me down to Smog City down in Torrance. And he told me about Porter, how Porter had shared his beers at Pacific Gravity. And he was like, hey man, I think I'm going to open my own craft brewery. And then he did. And so I thought, oh man, I should check this out. So I got myself over to a homebrew club meeting at the Long Beach Homebrewers Club. And I just sat there thinking, man, it'd be great if I could find a home brewer who wanted to open up a craft brewery. And sitting not too far away from me was Dan Sundstrom, who with his son Jesse was just about ready to get going with 10 Mile. And I thought, oh man, that's a story right there. And then the more research I did, I realized that craft brewing is basically started by homebrewers. And there's a bunch of guys in the 70s, Charlie Papazian, a bunch of other crazy guys who were beer sucks. Let's make something that tastes better, because all the beer then was like homogeneous and flavorless. And they're like, no, beer can be something else. And so it was like those sort of exploring homebrewers who basically set the stage for the craft brew movement. And then some enterprising homebrewers like Ken Grossman and the lot decided, you know what, I'm going to open up a craft brewery and I'm going to like share my beers with the world. And so the more I thought about it, the more I thought like, you know what, craft beer is like this amazing American invention. And because it's basically, we've taken what was beer and just completely redefined it. And now beer has flavor and it's sours and it's like got all these, you know, fruit esters and blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of paralleled the whole process of America waking up to what tastes good. For a long time, that cup of coffee was that fucking horrible, like pot set on the diner. It was just terrible. And then came along your double macchiato, soy light, blah, blah, right? And all of a sudden, and then the Food Network came along, and then there were like celebrity chefs, and all of a sudden America got taste. But craft beer is like one of the few things that I think we can claim as our own. And not to get too political, but I remember someone saying, let's make America great again. And I was like, fuck that. It's already great. Look at craft beer. So so after I met Dan Sundstrom, I started on this like 3.5-year process of making a film about craft beer. And the idea was I was going to follow Dan, and then I found Dan and Eric from Liberation as homebrewers as they open up their breweries. And what I wanted to do is really tell the story of craft beer. So what I did, flew around the country and I interviewed a bunch of beer luminaries, like everybody, guys you all know, like Charlie Papazian and Ken Grossman and Fritz Maytag. And what I tried to do is put together a story that told the story of craft beer. So, without too much more ado, I'll get to the clip. So anyway, I should say about the film. So we finished the film in February. And we had this big screening we're going to set out for April. A lot of you guys are going to be coming. And then COVID hit. And all of a sudden, all these plans we had to release the film with the Brewers Alliance and the American Homebrewers Association and whoever else wanted to jump on board went. So it's been 6 months of this kind of like COVID malaise. And Drennan, I don't know what you're talking about, this COVID bod, man. I got this COVID bod for 6 months, dude. But anyway, so this clip is from kind of early in the movie, and it's like the homebrew club meeting. You'll see with featuring Dan and Jesse. And we're going to show another one tomorrow. This is just like the first of two. Dennis, share screen.
Krista, you got it. You can share the screen from.
I did. Oh, yeah. Computer sound on. Optimize.
Yeah. There you go.
And play.
May, when we come back, is the next competition month, which is American Pale Ale. All right, so this was an American barley wine. This one ended up around 11.5 to 12. We have the Long Beach Homebrewers, which I'm a part of, is a glorious gathering of typically homebrewers where each person brings in something that they brewed.
So this was my first attempt at homebrewing, and
Brewers are the same all over the world. We are interested in the flavors of beer. We're interested in sharing good beer with our friends. We're interested in sharing the information so everybody can enjoy these new styles and these new flavors.
I use a Citra Simcoe, and then I whirlpool the Citra Simcoe, and I dry hopped it with 8 ounces.
When you make home brew, you put yourself into it, your personality, your love, your effort. That emerges when you drink it.
No other industry in the world is like this. Nobody says, oh, here's my like super amazing burger. Here's all of my ingredients and how I assemble it. Like that's just not a thing. It's barley wine.
Being part of a club, at least for me, and I think for most people, there is that sense of community that you hear a lot of people talk about. You drive one another, you inspire one another, and you push each other towards mastery a lot more than maybe you might on your own.
Hey. Beer. Thank you, man.
Yeah. I think it has to do with the nature of beer and the ability to open people up. It promotes communication and connection.
And I stopped to share.
That's awesome.
Yeah. By the way, Dennis, thank you for putting all this together. It's, I think one of the things that really intrigued me with like the whole idea of craft brewing was the community behind it. And I just love that you're sort of keeping this community going here in Long Beach. So thank you much, man.
Nope. It's been fun for me for sure. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Cristo. We will see you again tomorrow.
Excellent.
See you tomorrow.
If you guys haven't had a drink of water yet, you guys probably should. No? No water?
Nope. I had water. Liquid death water.
Of course.
It's not a paid advertisement, by the way.
All right, so we have Scholb up next. So I have to figure out which Jason
I'll go grab it.
is a couple. Do we serve water in this bar? Yes. Go grab some. I don't know whose handprints those are. Jason, I'm going to turn on your microphone, allow you to talk. I want to figure out which one.
There we go.
All right, so it's that
Hey!
one. Jason, hold on. Oh, let me promote you real quick. You should be able to turn on your camera now too.
That works too.
There you go.
Cool. I got some water. Oh.
You got some
Can't
water?
see my background.
You got a pitcher of water.
Yep. This is my glass rinser. Hold on. How do I change my background?
Is that the brewery?
No. The winery.
I don't know if Martin's like frozen or if he's just like looking down.
Oh, that's
Oh, there he is.
virtual background. None. There. Yay!
Oh, there you go.
All right. Sweet. So I've enjoyed these hazies so far. This is the Hog Canyon one still.
So Jason, go ahead and introduce your beer and tell us all about it.
Yes, it's my Tall, Dank, and Handsome. It's our flagship IPA. It's all of our beers I want to be drinkable and not too over the top bitterness or alcohol or anything. So it's a nice malty, a little more malty West Coast IPA, which makes it a lot easier to drink. And the Mosaic and the Columbus hops really give it a good dank aftertaste.
Now, where did the name Tall, Dank, and Handsome come from?
My wife came up with that because she couldn't be tall, dark, and handsome. So like, all right, it's Dank instead.
Where did the name of your brewery come from? Because I've heard it's multiple names together.
Oh yeah, totally. So my last name's Kolb, and I had a homebrew friend who was Schultz, and it was like a Tuesday night, and we drank a bunch of his homebrew, and I'm like, oh my god, we got Scholb because it's Tuesday and we're drunk. We were both working full time at the time, and I'm like, that's a really good name because it's so hard to come up with a unique name for a craft brewery these days. That's not going to be like a trademark issue. So I'm like, let's make up a name. Sounds old world, sounds German. We're both kind of little German heritage there. And so we just came up with our Scholb and, got a logo and just really, it just flowed from there.
By the way, this is an amazing beer. This is really effing good. So, if people can't make it out to Torrance, you have a tasting room on 4th Street in Long Beach, right?
Yeah, so we were pivoting before pivoting was a thing. Or like a lot of the other breweries like Smog and some of those multiple tap rooms is really the way to pivot. So we had our second one in Long Beach and did the restaurant and had all our beers on tap, and I actually have more taps in Long Beach than I did in Torrance because I just haven't drilled more holes in my cold box yet.
And you have good food in Long Beach as well.
Yep. My partner in this now is also named Jason, is a chef, trained culinary chef, and so he's been running the restaurant there. And COVID kind of slowed us down on the unique new kinds of food menu releases. Yeah, he makes some really good stuff. It's like all my kids and my parents and all our regulars over here love going there.
No, you have one of the best burgers we've had in Long Beach, so thank you.
Right on, thanks.
Oh man, and are you planning on doing any like for the rest of the year? What's the game plan for releases? Any specials, holiday beers? Cans, bottles.
Yeah, totally. So I did my Oktoberfest just to make sure we'd have it for October because I'm like, you know what, I can't not do this. It's been 4 years in a row. So we did our Oktoberfest, and then right now I'm actually just finally making another kettle sour.
Okay.
Because we had a bunch of sour. Actually, you probably can't see this at all, but
I
have a sour in there, souring at about 95 degrees, and I brewed that yesterday.
Okay.
What size is that?
Oh, say it again.
What size is your brew house that you're working with?
Oh, that's one of the quiz questions. I can't answer
that.
Timely.
I just launched the quiz.
Nice.
Never mind. Yeah, Dennis is like, that's a quiz question. I'll wait to answer. I'll wait to hear that.
I'm like, I think you'll guess. But what's cool is after 2 years, I started with the first single unit brew house, matched with single unit fermenters. And then I went and increased from my original 8 to 4 extra big ones and sold my smaller ones to Barley Project in Lomita.
Oh, cool.
So they have the small ones, which is kind of rad because I think they kept the labels on them too.
Cool.
They still have the same numbers.
Those are cool. What's on all those tanks?
Oh, so I don't, just like we were saying, like just like the ingredients, you don't really keep anything secret. So this is the exact schedule. Now this is a blonde, so you don't have to dry hop it, but I just write them in, and they're pretty consistent until I use my Belgian yeast, and then that throws off all the dates. But it's always going to be about the same steps.
Very cool.
Yep. Here's the IPA.
So it looks like on the
we'll call Marcello and get you some beer.
Looks like on the poll, looks like most people are answering 7 BBL for the brew system size.
Yep.
It was either 1 or 100 or 7.
Yep. That's a mess with you. Yeah. Literally the first brew day here in 2016 was like 17 hours, and we probably made like 4 barrels because we were worried about boil over. And then since then, I can do 3 batches of 7 barrels each in about 9 hours in one day.
Nice.
And I'll fill up a double. Usually I'll fill up a double, and then fill up one of the singles too. So like I can make 2 different types of beers. Sometimes I'll fill up 3 singles in one day, which is kind of exciting. Like I made 3 different beers today.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty fun.
And looks like for the second question, what is the head brewer's favorite beer? Most people are answering Call the Kettle Black IPA.
Oh, good. Yep.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I got into beer drinking through like red wine and wine tasting and all that. Back a little after college and right about when I got married. And I'm like, there's actually flavors here. So I like the Cabernet. And like then that got me into stouts and porters and darker beers. And then slowly I got into IPAs. But still my love has always been like the darker type of beers. And so the black IPA is like a good balance of the bitter hops and some dry hopping and also the dark stout kind of grains as well.
Black IPAs are probably one of my favorite styles ever. And I've had yours and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's a fun one. I make some other crazier stuff too, but that's my happy place when I drink the black IPA.
Awesome. One of the best ones we've had. So like, yeah, thank you.
Right.
Ask the Halloween question.
Oh yeah, the October Halloween question. Horror movie. Throw something at us. What's your favorite?
Oh, I love Alien.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Alien, the sci-fi.
No, it's.
How can you hate Alien?
One of my favorites.
I hate it so much. It scares me so much. I can't.
You hate it because it scared you?
I cannot watch that ever. Like it's like yeah, like it scares me so much as a child. I like cannot.
No, I love it, and I'm like not claustrophobic, but I still love being scared like that. It's like I'll go crawl into the house, and I had like a water leak a few months ago. I was crawling under the house in the crawl space, and it's just like one of those tunnels in the Nostromo, and I'm crawling through, and we just recently got cats, and somehow the cat got it under the house before I did. So I'm crawling under in the dark, and this thing just darts past me. I'm like, oh shoot! I'm like, nope, that was a cat.
Oh, I love it. No, but yeah. I mean, I know we're running out of time. I mean, but you make an awesome beer. Keep making beer. You know, Dennis. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? I'm thankful for everyone that came on today. Thank you, Jason, for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. This was hard to get to the end because I had to drink every single one, like the full one. So
nice.
That's a lot.
That's commitment right there. That's talent.
Yeah, it'd be wrong not to.
All right, Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Jason, thank you, bud.
Bye.
Sweet. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
I love it though.
What is going on over there? What is going on over there?
I'm showing my quarantine.
Oh,
everyone's having so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
We're in a closet right now.
Dennis,
Yeah,
after
we
7 pints, literally, like, I mean, just we're like.
I couldn't drink all this beer by myself.
Cheers.
How you guys doing?
We're good. How are you doing? We might
So
need
if you guys want
pizza in our own place, so we might need to like shamelessly plug our own restaurant. And
yes, do it. You want to offer like a discount to everyone watching?
Yeah, if you are watching and you order pizza online, eat beer, drink pizza as a discount code, we'll pay for the Long Beach tax for you. And I know I need pizza right now, and this isn't a shameless plug. I just really need pizza right now because I love pizza.
You guys need to deliver like all of Long Beach, not just Maritime.
You can call.
You can call Alley Cat Delivery.
You can call Alley Cat
and he'll deliver in your neck of the woods.
If you order online, you'll get the discount code, and then call Alley Cat Deliveries. You can look him up on. I could find his number, but you can look him up on all the social medias. Alley Cat Deliveries. He'll charge you, depending on where you live, like $8 to $10 if you're really far away, and he'll deliver it.
If you send me the info, I'll send it to everybody.
And you know what? Hey, Dennis, if you don't mind,
you're gonna knock everything over.
I'm not. Wait.
What's going on?
We might have an international incident right here, but tonight is Dark Art Emporium, who are our friends / business partners. Jeremy Cross is one of the best artists in Long Beach, LA. It's a show tonight. So if you go on to Dark Art Emporium Facebook. You can log on. They're going to do a live stream. It's going to be really rad. He's got just like, if you like right behind me, I know there's a huge glare. But yeah, anyway, but like, just, yeah, support local art, support beer, support Dennis. People like him actually make a huge difference. It's a lot of work. We're all friends. We love each other and we like to drink beer together. So love you, buddy. Love you.
Love you guys too. So this hat is a Fourth Horseman hat.
Yes, we have more of them.
Go down to the Fourth Horseman. You can pick it up. You can pick up any of these hats that are here on this table. I have a whole bunch.
Look at that crew you have with you. You have a good crew. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey, so one more thing. If anybody that's watching, if you guys take any photos or anything, make sure you tag Craft Beer LB, and I'll be happy to reshare it. And again, any of the hats that you want or shirts, they're all $20 right now. So for the weekend, and I'll mention it again tomorrow. And so I think we're pretty much done for today.
Except for maybe tomorrow, we're also featuring the second best pizzeria in Long Beach, Dutch's Brew House. So again, eat beer, drink pizza. If you
Hold on, let me see. I think he was on. I think he might have something. Let me see if he's on.
There might be some questions about how you make the best pizza in Long Beach.
So eat beer, drink pizza is our code for the #1, the best pizza in Long Beach. But otherwise, you can join us when we look at the #2 pizza in Long Beach.
Listen, if you're on, you can turn on your video and you can turn on your mic too.
Jason's on.
Oh,
You guys,
there it is.
tomorrow you're going down.
Oh, shit. We love you, buddy. We love you.
It's on.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
We're going to take you down.
I mean,
love you, buddy.
We love you.
You make good
Happy
pizza,
4-year anniversary, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah, by the way.
I don't know if people know that you
Thanks.
had your 4-year
Yeah.
anniversary in quarantine.
Last week, Duchess, 4-year anniversary. Make sure you check him out. Amazing pizza, amazing
If
pizza.
you guys want the best pizza in town, make sure you check us out. Second best pizza. Go down to that shack down there on 4th Street.
Thank you, bud. See you tomorrow, man.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right,
Thanks.
everybody. We are about to shut down. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, you guys. Love you guys.
Bye, Dennis. Love you guys.
Bye.